Hey, what's up? It's your boy BobbySapphire, and I am here with my good friend Andrew Reflex Cox, the four-game champ. What's up, Andrew?
What's going on, man? Everything's good down here.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like I'm down there because it's 90 degrees in this room right now, but I put a shirt on for you guys so I could also have the KTOD, although mine's mirrored, which is always annoying. Yours looks great. So we're here today to talk about coaching. And is coaching worth? We think it's worth. Uh, why do you think coaching is worth? Have you ever done so like have like you coach at a college level, right? So like tell us about that first before let's contextualize this discussion.
Yeah, so I have been a captain or a coach in a ton of different levels. I am currently the head coach of the University of Central Florida's men's ultimate program, and I also run the men's club program over the summer,
And for
which
people
just
not
combined.
from Florida, ultimate is ultimate frisbee.
Thank you. Yeah, it is ultimate frisbee. That's a team sport. I've been involved in team sports my whole life. So I've been doing that most recently. And then I've also been involved in a little bit of coaching on the tabletop side, but nothing officially like we're doing in this program.
Yeah, and I've been into coaching ever since I was an athlete. I was the kid who, on the bus to the swim meets, would sit at the front of the bus with the coach and talk about like who was doing what events and figure out like the best way to finagle who, like where to put me and where to put our other good swimmers. Did the book at like my brother's baseball games. I've always kind of been interested and got into esports coaching at the school that I teach at pre-COVID, and then got into coaching for CCGs through Star Wars Destiny, and then actually coached a Pro Tour team for the Flesh and Blood Pro Tour for one of their major Pro Tour events, which was pretty cool. And yeah, so I guess the reason why this comes up is because Andrew reached out to me and was trying to think of ways to bring this sort of content to the Star Wars Unlimited community, and we decided to. The best way to do that was to just launch a coaching program through the KTOD Patreon. And I guess the thing that I want to talk about most is just like, why do you think coaching is valuable to like, the common Star Wars Unlimited card player?
Yeah, so I really think it's just an elevation of a lot of the stuff that KTD is already doing with their community building and content, in that you know there's really been a space built similar to what we did in Destiny for people that just want to get better, regardless of what level you're at. So you could be brand new, but as long as you come in with a good mindset, or we have some of the top tournament players so far in the country and the world in our Discord. And it's really just about bringing a positive place for anyone at any level that wants to get better at the game to have a place to come have those conversations and ask those questions. And I think this is just now an elevation of that. So it's just, hey, I've had discussions about a deck that I want to play, but can we get into the nitty gritty? Can I get more one-on-one, more individualized, where we can get back and forth, half an hour to an hour, um, ask my questions, get in, get out, and get some really detailed analysis of whatever you're looking to improve on. I think it's really important to have that one-on-one intention, as opposed to kind of, some things can get lost in a big group discussion, especially, as the Discord grows.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be less places to have those more intimate conversations.
Yeah, and I'm glad you put it that way because it's certainly my ethos. Even when I started things like the Hyperloops or K2D with my friends, is just like, how can people get better as a high school teacher? That's sort of like what I'm going for at all times, like in my personal life and professional life as a dad. So like I'm always thinking about how we can get better, and the content that I like making the most is the one that I think is like teaching something to the masses. And like as much as I love being in the discords and answering questions, it can be really difficult and time consuming to answer all of the questions that I get pinged and then all the DMs that I get. um, and the way I think of it is like I don't mind getting DM'd about things, but like a lot of the times the things that I could be DM'd about like would benefit a lot more people if they were asked to me in the public Discord or the KTOD Discord, or like again through a coaching program. And I have the same sort of like ethos when I teach. It's like when a kid comes up to my desk to ask me a question or like beckons me to their desk, I say, no, you need to ask because everyone's going to benefit from this. This is why we're doing this. And I think that gets lost in CCGs. Like a lot of people do just want to DM the person who's like played the deck a lot or knows the deck or seems to know the deck or knows someone who knows the deck. And like those kinds of questions can get answered on a wider scale for so many more people to benefit. And then like I think of the reason why I went to grad school to be a writer was like, oh, I'm going to be around other writers in this like small focus program with writing teachers, and that's going to make me better. And that's sort of how I, think about card games. And also like we're so lucky, you and I, first of all, like having each other, but also like being able to surround ourselves with good teammates. Not everyone has that. And like your coaching program, like if done right, which is like what I think we're going to do, is like create that team mentality, even if you're not necessarily on the team, but you're like creating a team. You're going to like CCG graduate school, is the way I kind of look at it.
No, I like that analogy a lot because it's going to be a small program to start at least,
Yeah.
and even at its heyday, it's going to be a much smaller group of people. But those are people that again are have dedicated themselves already to wanting to even elevate more than just joining the general Discord, and those are guys going to be rooting for you, right? Like we're all going to be in there to really get better together. And if one of those guys is at an event, you better believe I'm going to be like glued and rooting for you and it's going to have that aspect of what we have in a team where it's just like, hey, I'm at an event, I want to dump to somebody. Like, can anyone have my back or give me a little pep talk, right? Or see how people are doing, or we go to a big event and like we're all going to be there, right? It's just another group that you can kind of latch onto and make that little mini team with. I think it's really, really beneficial.
Yeah, it's the best. And I remember like when the guys who we coached for Destiny like went to their big events, their regionals or whatever, like following it in Discord, like getting all the updates. You get hyped. Like you put like we're not we're not snake oil salesmen. We want people to like get this coaching and do better. So like it excites us when those people do better. So like I'm really excited about this. So the what we're doing is launching a coaching program via the Patreon. I guess this probably didn't need its own slide, but I didn't know what to call you, so I just called you the coaching director.
I
So
like it.
we already talked about how you coach Ultimate. I did at college level Ultimate, and then you've been successful in 4 different FFG games. Star Wars Unlimited, of course. You've already you won a 1K. You came in second at a 1K at the 5K. Destiny, former North American champion. Shout out to your North American champions in the call. X-wing, runner up at Worlds, and like I don't know, umpteen regional wins. And then IA, I don't know if I know your IA accolades. I assume you won like at least a regional or whatever they called them back in the day, and maybe like top 16 worlds or something.
Close. I was one win away from the cut. I beat 2 national champions at a Worlds. But yeah, I think my big like prior run claim to fame is that I won a regional in all 3 games in the same season. But yeah, my highest technical win at IA would be just at a regional level. But I had a good run at one of the Worlds.
The 4 game champ thing is sort of like an inside Hyperloops joke too that like Inception likes to shout out all the time. So,
Yeah.
so you're like you're a professional coach. This is what you do. I love this. Like the job I want to transition to later on in my career is to become an instructional coach for other teachers. Like I love coaching, and I like love that we're starting this, and like you and I have such like a similar mindset. And one of the other things that like I kind of wanted to mention, but sort of got lost in our discussion, was just like how beneficial it has been for like I mentioned the team thing, but having that sounding board, someone you trust to go to, like how many times have we just ironed out between the two of us, like what list we're going to play for the weekend? You know what I mean? Like having that is invaluable. And so many people fail to win events because of deck selection. Like they just like never had a shot at deck selection. And like that's not always the case, but it certainly doesn't help when you make that decision. And so like being able to have that in this coaching program and like guide people not only through preparing for tournaments and like getting better on the tabletop level, but also, um, you know, when they travel to big events or even just their local store showdown or regional, like it's just I think it's gonna be really beneficial. So you mentioned already that it's gonna be a very small program, and um, what I guess I didn't put on this slide, but so the Patreon coaching tier is a $40 a month tier. It unlocks a private coaching area in the KTO Discord. We are starting with only 4 slots in this coaching program. We are only interested in like having that like a very small group of people who want to get better. This isn't your $10 for 30-minute coaching. This is $40 a month for a your own channel with Reflex and the KTOD members and the other coaching subscribers. A video channel where you get to see all of the coaching sessions, yours and the other coaching members, and then your ability to schedule coaching sessions throughout the month. There's 2 to 4 sessions available per week, and we'll go over the menu. But is there anything else you want to say about like why we're keeping it this small and this bespoke at this rate?
Yeah, I think it's just touching back on one of the things we said earlier. It's kind of like creating a mini team, right? Like this is going to be the coaching group from the KTOD Discord, and you guys are going to be there to not only have us as resources, but have each other as resources. And we really want to make sure that people feel like they're getting, value out of this. And so by being conservative and keeping it smaller early, we can really have that dedicated one-on-one time and make sure that we have a place that you can go to get those questions answered, and have those discussions that you want to have, and so things don't get lost in those bigger channels.
Yep, and I'm sure there will be criticism over the price at $40 a month, but part of that is like we're keeping it small, and we want this to be worthwhile because it's going to take up a lot of our time. We're going to work hard to make this a priority, but also like we people aren't going to linger for a year and a half on this tier. Like they're going to get their coaching, they're going to feel like they've improved, and someone else is going to be able to step in. It's going to be a really healthy churning of the coaching Patreons. And then, so what can we do in these sessions? So here, the additional price basically comes out to $25 for 30 minutes, $50 for an hour session. Do you want to talk about these? Because you sort of were the architect for a lot of these decisions here.
Yeah, so these are just kind of some, a menu of items that are kind of stock that, hey, if you're not sure, here's a thing to generate some ideas. But we really want this to be personalized and, dependent on exactly what you're looking for. So if exactly what you're looking for doesn't list here, we can definitely work together to figure out something in exactly what you're needing. These are just kind of like the easiest, most umbrella terms that we could put together, and we'll kind of go through them each. But I really want this to be personalized. So don't feel bad about like, hey, I'm not exactly sure what I want. It's not exactly anything that you have. Can we just have a discussion on kind of ironing out a plan to improve in this area, or to have a discussion about something? So yeah, just the in the 30-minute sessions, and again, we can kind of tailor this to you. So if you want longer for one of the 30-minute sessions, we can do that. If you want shorter for one of the 60 minutes, we can do that. Again, these are just kind of ideas, but yeah, deck list help meta discussion. So this is kind of, I think, really me and Mike's strong point. It's where we have a lot of our really good discussions. It's, hey, I have a tournament in a week or two. I'm between these decks. This is what I feel good about. Here's the best players in my area are playing this deck. How can I maybe tweak a deck to fit my meta? It's really just preparing for the tournament and figuring out how to optimize your time in preparation, and then kind of tweaking your decks to fit whatever event you're going to. So this is kind of week to 2 weeks out, how to optimize a plan to get you most prepared going into a tournament.
Yeah, and you could do something too, like I'm really struggling with this very popular matchup. Can we spend 30 minutes just like ironing out what part of my list is good, what part of my list is bad that I might want to sideboard out, and like what lines am I going to take? So, again, like these can be really loose. This is just a framework to get you guys thinking about like how you might want to frame the conversations.
Yep, exactly. And then, recorded game review. So that would just be not a live session. So that would be you going in and playing, recording your own gameplay, and then submitting those videos. And then I will do a live voiceover recording, giving you feedback. And of course, if there's anything specific you want me to look at within those games, I can spend some time either, during those points or at the end of the game. But that's just you submitting recorded gameplay and me giving you feedback over list, games, decisions, whatever you're looking for within that. And then watch live play. So that is me one-on-one individually live watching your games. Going in, we can either set up another thing that we're looking to do with kind of keeping this group small is we can set up games against other coaching students to where they can kind of take the other side of a match. Hey, I really want to work on this specific matchup. I can sit over, watch the game play out, and then have a discussion, some feedback at the end of the game. And then going into the longer sessions, these are again, flexible depending on exactly what you're looking for. But we can go heavier into like a best of three. Hey, I played a match against somebody from the Discord. We were looking at a specific matchup. We played a best of three, sideboarded. Maybe you can kind of record some of the thoughts you're having throughout the game, and have a more in-depth discussion. Really, probably centered around a specific deck matchup or something like that. Um, then we could also have you guys submit decks for me. So maybe we're about to go into set two. Going into new sets, there's a lot of deck ideas. If you're a deck builder and you're just like, I have this idea, but it's not quite concrete yet. Here's a bunch of things I'm thinking about. Maybe a couple cards that you're not sure which fit in the slot. You can submit decks, and I will go play them, record my gameplay, voice over that with my thoughts, and then give feedback on deck and deck construction, and directions we can go. Again, that can tailor to specific matchups or just general meta gameplay. And then the last one there is live feedback in a 1v1 session. So, we'll get you playing a deck and we can kind of talk through gameplay as it's going. So how does my brain work within a game? Like, what are the different things that I'm thinking about as we're thinking about mulligans or thinking about decisions or resourcing? What are the different things you should really be considering based on what your opponent's playing, what's in your hand? And I think that's really one of my strengths in playing is just the in-game decision making and making sure that you kind of understand how players at the top of the game think about these decisions and go through in a game.
Yeah, and I think these are all like really great options. I know when I paid for some teamfight tactics coaching, it was $100 a session, and these were all like options that were on the table or similar. And I really think like thinking about that, how I paid like the top American TFT player $100 for like an hour, like hour 15 minutes. You're getting for with the KTOD coaching for $40 a month, you get that like personalized channel with coaching videos plus the ability to pay $50 as many times as you want or as few times as you want for individual coaching sessions. Like you could easily iron that out to like $100 a month and or like a little bit more than that and get a whole lot out of the thing. I know like the coaching session I did for TFT helped me immensely. It's what pushed me up to get master. Oh, shout out to you and I. This is our 6-year anniversary of making legendary in Hearthstone for the first time.
Hearthstone,
It showed up on my
let's
Facebook
go.
memories. I meant to mention
That's
that
awesome.
earlier. Shout out if
We
anyone's
did
still
it
listening.
the the first month ever together, right? We did
Yeah,
it in the same month.
yeah, and I think we did it like we hit on the same day because it's that I posted on Facebook so it would show up in my memories.
Sick. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I'm
There's
really
another game.
yeah. There's another game. Yeah, I'm really excited for this program. Um, and again, like it's going to be really small, and you could say what you will about the way it looks compared to maybe some other coaching programs out there, but we're trying to make this worth everyone's time and money. So, we hope that the slots fill. I'll say this: if you're watching this, the 4 slots will have gone live. So. Hop in. I think we're going to start, or Reflex is going to start posting his availability starting next week for coaching sessions. But yeah, as soon as people hop in, they'll be part of the coaching program in that special section of the K2 Discord. So look forward to meeting our coaches, our players there.
Yeah, really excited. Last thing I just want to mention is the another reason we're kind of keeping it a little small is we just want to guarantee the availability of the coaching sessions themselves. Obviously we're keeping this a little tight early just to make sure I can dedicate the right amount of time to each person, and guarantee 1 to 2 sessions a month at a minimum that you're able to book. Hopefully more if that's what you're looking for, but at least at a minimum, I'm trying to get you guys 1 to 2 a month, no matter what. And then as we kind of feel this out and feel how it goes, we'll hopefully open up some more availability for that.
Yeah, sounds great. All right, sweet. Can't wait to see how it goes.
Very excited.
All right, man. Later. GG's.
See ya.